akan cari istri lagi.
Kamu itu objek ya, Om.
Direkod, Cuk, direkod.
Diknya ini belum siap.
Aku malam tahun baru nginep di Precision.
Gak jadi di bos ya, Om.
Gak jadi, dikasih sama Pak Indra. Ara, malam tahun baru kemana, Ara?
Apa, Om?
Malam tahun baru kemana?
Nggak kemana-mana, bego aja.
Dibeboin apa?
Bobo sendiri lah, mandiri.
Oh, mandiri. Bukan mandiri. Halo, Jing!
Nggak dengar kayaknya.
Squad 2 nggak ada.
Oh. Catastrophic failure. Okay, I think we're ready to begin, huh, Peter?
Yes.
Okay, so I guess good afternoon, everyone, again.
Good afternoon.
So let's take a look across and see down what we have here. So, oh wait, this is a new kind of format. So, we're going to be looking at some of the quarterly reports, and without further ado, I'd invite Albert up to give us a report on Squad 1. All right, we'll frame in. All right, okay, good evening, everyone. Good evening. Okay, so basically this is quarter report from Squad 1.
Sorry, I just want to know, do we have like how long maximum time? Or
Wait.
And is there discussion or just?
Yeah, if we have enough time within the 20 minutes, there will be like a discussion.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so pretty simple. Let's get through it first. So this is timeline. What happens from the last 3 months, basically from this quarter, from this quarter 1. First of all, one of the pain points itself behind Independence Day signing on 5th October. Then after that, on the 18th October, which actually pretty unstable squad 1. I'm gonna say everything. So that's right. Actually, when we start to looking for a squad lead to give a direction, or at least someone that actually can also help on setting a direction within on the squad 1 itself. On the 25th October, what we do is basically we as a squad 1 ask everyone to write down all their expectation, how actually squad leaders should be, and what actually is needed for someone to be a squad leader on squad 1 itself. And after a long discussion, sweat, blood, and tears, finally, 3 hours discussion, we follow the democracy. We vote, and me chosen as a squad lead. After that, we also discussed regarding that. It's a bit long discussion, but finally, I made a decision that I want to have a good squad lead. Someone that actually can also monitor me, someone that actually can also make me, let's say, kind of like make a decision. Not someone that actually creating a decision, but give me advice. What actually my decision is correct or not. Someone that can also remind me that actually what my decision is also something that can impact the squad. After that, on the 30th of October, we start to make an assessment. What is actually wrong in squad 1? What is actually missing, and what's supposed to be fixed on the squad 1 itself. We make a new framework. Some of it is how we actually create a new process of new business or business. Previously, we make it as a chapter. We define it as a chapter, but like now we make it as individual. So we know actually everyone have a responsibility. Let's say if you get a task or something like that, it will be put on your own business as an individual. So we know exactly who is actually not doing their work and who actually have a new business or something that they need to perform. After that, we introduce it on the 1st of November, also introducing regarding the new teams and also the process of the OKR. For the past months on the November, it's pretty hard also for us because it's new things, bit of confusing and also a little bit of trial and error. But until now December, we start to get a hang of it. We start to know what actually need to be done. On the 5th November, just when actually we start on introducing the new framework, Novel dismissed, and not long after that, around 1 week or 2 weeks, just also resigned from squad 1. It's also a bit lost on the squad 1 also. Lastly, on the 9th December, we start to understand that something needs to be prepared from the scratch, from the basic of it on squad 1. And that's actually when we start to want to make a plan on 2020, basically a master plan for the years. So for the 12th month, what we need to be done, we are, let's say, collecting all the data, what to compile it on the January, and after that we're gonna make a framework on what will be done on each quarter itself. So actually, this part of quarter meeting also help us a lot. So this is what we will also report on the quarter basic on it. Next one, this is the basic revenue that we actually achieved on the past 3 months. The first one is October. The left side is basically on projection, and the right side is basically what we achieved. On the October, we project actually 131,000, and we actually achieved 135. On the November, we project on 123, but we only achieved 114. And lastly, on the December, as of last night, I believe, we project actually 140,000, and we achieved on 140,000 plus 148. That's pretty much it. So basically, we already achieved for December. Other than that, we also try to look at a different perspective regarding the percentage of the margin error on our projection itself. How much is actually, when we actually make a projection, what is the difference? Do we actually, our projection is pretty straight to the point, or actually it's different? Well, the bottom part of it, actually, 3.57% and 0.1 is the difference between the projection and also the actual revenue. And on average, the average margin is around 1%. What we want to do on the 2020, basically, we want to make a projection for all the new property, existing property, just to make it precise, so we can actually know what we can be, how much we can get for the next years itself. To be honest, maybe on the other spot is already done. The last part one we don't have it, so that's what we actually planning. So we can actually have at least a little bit of a rough estimation on how much we can get. Next one, this is from the finance itself. So other than that, we got all the roll up for the last few months, and finance also helping on doing that, also helping the signing up and everything else. 29 out of 40 property actually are signed, with exception of Kembang Kuning, the Kuto, and etc. You can check on it. Sorry, I haven't read it detailedly, but there's also a reason of it. You can also check it. This is what we tried to do on November, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. And other than that, we also get the feedback from the owner. So first of all, is this is speed bump. First, how to read, especially on the CSV. Secondly, there's no total amount on payout report. On third, payment status confusing for some of people. Fourth is special case. This is regarding alteration, adjustment, and anything else. Lastly is notification to owner device. That's a speed bump that actually happening. But in the end, we still want to do it. We still want to do our best. But this is also the feedback that we actually kind of consider on continuing it. Next one, what's the action plan for the January itself? So we want to do an improvement on data outputs, but most of it, what we want to do is getting an area profitability report. So area profitability report is basically just like what happened on we got all the payout report, but like on the speed bump itself, some of special case, let's say cancellation that we actually get some of the value, or alteration, and I think else sometimes is not really recorded on the bigger, or let's say on the payout. So when we actually checking it manually, basically checking it manually, sometimes there will be a difference, or sometimes almost every time it's the difference on each month for between the payout report that we do manually and also payout report that actually from legal or family. Correct me if I'm wrong. Thank you, Rizky. Secondly is property type of profitability report, where we actually want to define on the category between each property. What is the type of it? This is what actually also kind of consider on which type of property actually, let's say, have a high demands on that area. So on in the future, market builder can also focus on looking for that kind of property. That's the idea of it. Lastly, is part one profitability report. This idea is also looking at the expense of the squad one. So this kind of like budgeting. So we know how much actually squad one kind of, let's say, spend on money as versus regarding how much they actually be gain from the revenue itself. That's the idea. This is the first calculation that we is going to be great. If you want to check out details on it, you can also look at the Canva. Sorry. This is the property type. On the left side, we're actually creating the guest house, resort, villa, luxury villa. We try to differentiate between lot 3, 5, 6. I think it's also a higher end of the villa itself. And also BNB, just like Mujimba, the displays, Cantik, and Sabina, which is pretty like a gray area between guest house and also resort villa. So this is just the first phase of us. We're actually gonna check out it again. What is the idea on keeping a category between it. Next one, these are all lost basically on the spot one. Some of the property actually offboarding for the last 3 months. One of it is Villa Jaya, Villa Siva, actually 2 villas, and also Lakaban that we actually unleashed. This area, 2 of Villa Siva and Jaya is in between area, and Lakaban is sorry, it's Balakan supposedly. And the reason of it, Villa Jaya Siva just another agent, basically. Sorry, and for Lakaban, we choose to unleash it because there's until availability, and also the price of it is a little bit tricky. We don't know actually, they don't give our contractors anything else. So we just, rather than just keep something that pretty unstable or not clear enough, we just unleash it. That's it. The third point is basically how much we lost if we try to compare it with last year's, basically. For Villa Jaya, if we compare it with last year, there's a difference of 1,200. For Villa Siva, interesting thing, a difference around 3,000 for the span of 3 months. So that's the difference because Villa Siva is 2 villas. And Lakaban is only around 200, which means even we unleash it, there's not much difference. Either we keep it or we unleash it. So in total, basically, it's around 9,000 for the off-board property. Next one. So this is also regarding the new property. So for the last 3 months, basically, especially for spot one, there's a few property that we did a projection that we actually try to pitch. And based on the egg property, or Green Village and anything else, it's actually converted only 3 property that are the side and also lands. One of it is Villa Bamuzen that already achieved 2,500 for the last until December. Sarah that still start on January, and also the displays that already get 460 from the last week's basically as months. So around 30% converted from the projection, and also until it's actually get launched on that side. Question on the
Yes, Green Village converted, right?
With Green Village.
No, this one.
Yeah, Green Village.
Oh, not the.
No. Oh, it's different. Yeah. Okay. Oh, Green Village is the Jimbaran, the big villa in Jimbaran. Sorry. I'm trying to remember that. Thank you for reminding. Next one. This from the content part, basically. So there's 7 listing that we launched. And so from the last property, there's 3 property that actually we created. And first, Sarah. Then secondly is Bamuzen. Then the displays have a 3 listing basically. And the last 2 that actually number of listings that are not necessarily compliance is from Maharaja. So we have an idea previously because Maharaja is kind of like we stopped to launch it because we want to sell the property. Then after that we reactivate again, we're working together again. But because it's already been long since we sell the property, the booking is pretty low, sorry. Then after that we try to make listing for each rooms, but it doesn't work actually. After that, then the villa actually work better, and we try to stop on continuing using each rooms listing. Next one, this is the accuracy rating as KPI. So from October until November, we actually get an interest. So starting from September and October, host team basically helped to do a content audit, which means they are checking out on the property and also checking on the listing itself. If there's a different amenities or anything else. To be honest, some of the listing also still kind of have misinformation. but we try to continuing it and we try to make it accuracy as accurate as possible. That's the idea of it. Cancellation policy experiment. This is a long experiment. I think around 3 months, 2 or 3 months. After that, we discussed that actually there's a lot of property with high value on spot one, but if it's actually unflexible, especially for a villa, it's going to affect a lot if someone actually cancel that. And after that, after long discussion, after long experiment, we decided actually it is best one for us to make it as a model, as a default on the spot one itself, based on the property and also all the area that we have. We are the own company, but once again, it's up to all the on the spot to take it or not. Next one, we actually also do an audit how many requests to book listing that we have, and it's actually we got it 52 requests to book listing, either from this not active, Lanjoya, groups, Lakaba, or even let's say a multiple room listing. After that, me and Diba discuss about it. Some of it for the multiple room, we still keep it on the request to book. Some of it we unlist it because it actually doesn't work at all, or let's say just like Lakaba and everything else. And right now it's only left with 16 requests to book listing. Next one is number of listing that actually never get booked. There's 11 never get booked, but after that we got an audit. Some of it we were in capital, some of it actually we choose to iCloud and anything else. After that it's only left with 3 listing that we have. This is the new project that actually done between NB and also digital marketing. It means MBDM cloud computing. Just to make it short, it's a cloud computing project. So basically, we are taking a look back again to all the posts that actually, let's say, not continuing. Some of it, we actually also take a category with it. First is no follow-up prospect. Secondly, property under construction prospect. And third ones are the management game. So basically, all the prospect on MBA, sometimes they don't want to work with us because some consideration just like this one. We try to focus on these 3 categories, but also there's some of different categories also. Hopefully, we get at least 3 new leads from this project for this month, basically, and also it can be converted as a new partner also. So this is the idea. Diba is the one that actually leads the project, but I also know a little bit about it. So basically, this also helped from included on the DM at first, but after it's continuing again with Diba, check out the post and everything else. So thank you very much for everyone. Lastly, for most registration, not much different from this club. I'll be honest. One of it, we try to continue again on the benefits. We also make an export one journal. This is the idea because Nadine is a part-time. She's on Jogja, spreading news too. And we try to, there's a little bit of issue on offer previously. We try to learn from that. We take that as a evaluation and we make a journal basically to understand what's the issue and actually how to do it now. Next one is the Bukit Vista House 101. This is like encyclopedia that we create. So this is also a learning material for the new product. Next one, a travel guide. We also make it for Jimbaran and Unit. And a guest feedback. We try to make, actually, it's really interesting. We try to make a form to get a feedback from the guests. This also championed by Dominic for this one. Hopefully, we can also get the new things that actually from the guests, how actually they think about us. Lastly, from the next one from the human resource. So this is the data of how many people that actually hired. There's 3 people. And then just and Fena. Even Fena is actually all the squad assembly itself, but because of that, it's also part of the squad. Next one is of how many people that actually signed. There's 4 people, just like I explained on the timeline itself. Next one is how many trials that conducted. Not only me, everyone on squad one always asking that. Get us a new post, get us new people, get us new hosts. This is how many people that actually conduct a new trial. But again, this is the data how many people that actually had. On the upcoming, we also want to do HR efficiency or productivity goals. So the idea of it is just like on the master plan of 2020, we want to know how many people actually can affect on the revenue itself. How many, let's say, 1 people can really contribute. Thank you. Contribute to the fund itself. Let's say we got $140,000 US, and we have 7 people. It means in growth itself, we get, let's say, 1 people can contribute around $20,000. That's the idea. But after that, we also need to double check again regarding the expense and everything else. But this also helps us on the agility and also the efficiency for each personnel of the squad. This is the idea. This is the basic idea of the squad for the next quarter. First one is compiling data. Just like I told you previously, we want to do 2020 a year projection. We want to do a master plan for 2020. Everyone already done it. Finance already done it. HR also collecting the data, market builder, we creating projection, anything else. After that, we're gonna compile the data. We're gonna check it and how actually we're gonna measure it. A little bit extra information. We also try to do a reporting for Purisabina, where everyone doesn't know about it. So basically, Purisabina working along with us, but for the past 3 months, it's still in gray area regarding availability. This week an issue regarding allocation and everything else. We also want to finish it as soon as possible on January. Next one, if already compiling the data shall be done, we're gonna launch it. We're gonna inform it to the squad itself, so everyone can also create a KR, also create a project anything else that's actually aligned with the yearly plan. Actually, I think I'm monitoring in March. We also going to do our evaluation. Right. That's pretty much from squad one. If you have any question, with the remaining time.
So we actually still have 2 minutes of time before end. Does anyone has any question for squad one? No? Okay then. So if no one has any question from squad one, thank you so much, Alvin. So let's next, I'll be inviting for squad two, who will be presented by Mas Teddy.
Okay, good evening, everyone. Okay, so today I would like to.
The volume is currently set to 100%.
Okay.
Okay.
This is the quarter report of the squad 2. This is the topic and the highlight. First is performance summary, complete objective, 1 point individual role development, squad event, and 2020 vision. So for the squad 2 performance summary from the October to December, for the growth, actually we compared the growth from the last year to the this year. And then also we have like some new people. So I will see also like what is the effect from the last year with the people, how many that total of the people, and then total of now of the people, and then what is the growth. So actually we achieved like more than 100% growth from the last year. So it's about 112% compared to last year. So I think this is like a good growth for the squad 2, because it's like reflected to the how many people and then the growth as well. And then for the revenue growth as well, we in the last month in the November we surviving the low season by just reducing 9% for the revenue, and then picking up 17% on the December season. A number of partner growth. So from the last 3 months, we got 4 new property in Canggu and Malas. That's Komala Homestay, Asum, Atra, and Amazon Guest House. Also, 2 properties in Uluwatu, which is Wooden Puri Guest House and Gayana, and then 3 property in Ubud, Alam Joglo Ubud, Lokalita, Pondok Gede Villa, and 1 property in Sanur, it's Villa Arum. Thank you for all the teams and then the MD for helping growth. And then this is number of check-in. Actually, squad 2 also have a very high number of check-in every day. And now currently we only have 1 host in the 1 area. So it's like a Jol in the Canggu and then Juan in the Padang. So we also already coordinated with the ARA for the maybe people like for the request like a mobile host, so it's like not in one place but can help every area that needs help. So, and then this is the KPI. For that role, increase the performance listing accuracy from the 4.5 to 4.6, and the starting book rate is average 90. That's I think that's already compliant. That's compliant as well. As the inquiry is conversion is not stable because it's like some guests is like when we pay approval, like some guests didn't get back, but that's counting as well. And then some of the inquiries like just asking, I have booked under this, but I would like to tell just like a for that like information, mostly like information. So that's not converted to the booking. So that's why the booking, the inquiry conversion is not stable yet. And then the check-in experience rates, we go down 0.02, but in the review score per month we are stable above 90% and review, but the review rate is not stable yet. For the SLA, for the host SLA, host handle compliant within 2 days. So in the squad 2, we have like the SLA for the host. For the host have to done all the complaint like any problem by 2 days. So not like taking long, like still a week, still a month. There is still a problem with the property. So we want also make it quick and then clear in the property. So we can still get the trust with the partner and the guest. And super responsive, the guest with communication channel on the WA and Airbnb by message by the handover. So when the handover to the next shift and then the tomorrow, so there's like a no unread message in the Gmail and then in the on the WhatsApp. So it's like we have a good handover to the next shift. Okay, and then also we send the thank you message for the checkout guest. Before this is Vista did this, but now we still figure it out who will be the next for the thank you message. And then for the content team is fulfilling the SLA and then some booklet is always like above 90%, while the SLA is 80%. Content team also did the deep content. Deep content doctor listing to reduce the complaint regarding the misinformation in the listing. Then after bidding, onboarding the clear partner and use our revenue manager for setup and pricing. After bidding, team also make sure in the 3 month all the communication and operational team is delivered to the HAR, so market bidding can delegate to us for the future growth in the new property. So in the MB SLA also in the PRM, we have the label. So when all the information is already delivered to the HAR, the HAR have to change the label to the delivered. So it's like the MB team can know what is the best time to leave the group and then hand over. And then for the revenue management team, has make a good prediction of the revenue target per month and achieve 50% operation of the branch. This is from the content. This is for the content objective. The content has been successfully building workflow and KPI to improve content performance, and then has been successfully daily content doctor to improve listener accuracy. From the internal tool, help streamline SAR flow in managing guest arrival and journey. For the internal tool as well, create a faster feedback cycle for fixing bugs and adding new feature. So it's like Mas Bayu create like a bug report for more like easier the person that find any bugs to fix it. And from the SAR, the partnership in the last 3 months, we got some partnership of the restaurants, spa and yoga, plus discount for the beauty guests. So we have a maps. We create like a maps and then we put some discount to the for the guests. So the guests like feel like this is like the Bukit Vista area, and we have some partnership not only the properties but also some like activity place in the restaurant. Also, as I also successfully trained other team member outside squad 2 to cover next shift. It's like before we train Maha and then some people that can join to the next shift as well. Rafi is delegate Chandra to the others and the others to handle them. So now for the reservation is handled by Chandra. We have like a separate. We make the separate like the support and the host. So host can focusing on the area like for the checking the room in the morning, and then checking the guests, and then handling the complaint in the property, and then all the reservation and then communication WhatsApp is handled by support. So we can on that things. So Chandra successfully move up channel people from the account coverage, and then we define the burden within return. So from the revenue management team has been successfully distributed revenue management to more team members with improved performance. So this is, but before all the revenue management is handled by Bayu. But Bayu train and they delegate some people in the team to manage the revenue management. So this is the good delegation. So Bayu delegate to D1, me, and then Chandra for manage the revenue in the squad team. Also able to push revenue in Uluwatu, Padang-Padang, and Ubud to develop squad to growth, and then successfully become the biggest revenue contributor in the 3 months in the row. From the finance, Tito has successfully processed the settlement of the payment from the January to November 2019 for the Triklapa. For the Triklapa, this is the very big challenge for the squad to like make clear the payment, because it's very many difference of the payment. So before Gigi, it's not done yet, but now Tito is lagi like make clear all the payment in the Triklapa. So the trust from the Papa is good again with us. Also, Tito has been successfully make a finance request for everyone who needs request for fund, and this method have been make recording of finance request much better. So this is like for the event, like make a final request, like if you want to make like some event, you can request it on the finance. So all the payment, all the the payment and everything is have on track on the payment on the finance. This is the pay point for the each person. So from Bayu, limited minutes to experiment new best practice from the everyone, adoption rate from partner for the new tools, and from graphic is need strong person to replacing graphic in Canggu, and so graphic can step up to the for the mentor new people. And then from me, it's a new member and then based in Canggu, so it's like a more fast in the professional. So it's not take a long time just on the road. Then from the one, limited benefits between meeting and then owner for discussion and lot of because a lot of guest checking. On the Chandra, it's secondary support for backup and then backup on the reservation. So Chandra can step up on the roles. From Gani, for the squad 2 as well, but I feel like I cannot step up more because I still have to spend minutes for the squad 4. From the Tito, difficult to manage time for doing both finance, support, and accounting. From Joel, is the distance from Canggu to Jimbaran. So this is the individual development. So this is from me. In the previous quarter, I'm focused in the hosting in the Uluwatu and Padang-Padang area. But currently, I set up to the revenue management and then mobility manager. And then what has been earned? Currently, I am leading to the Canggu expansion and building meeting. And then for the next season, I want to focus more build a strong team and then make me feel like as a trusted hospitality company, by reducing the negative review from the guests and that good feedback from the partner. From the Bayu, the previous quarter, Bayu focused on the revenue management and content. But in the current quarter, Mas Bayu already delegate the revenue management to Tendi and Iwan, and then Chandra, and then the content to Diba. So refocus to the mission to the internal tools to help with the operational. What has been earned is Mas Bayu has been promoted to the CTO, and then the next mission is want to focus on the improving hospitality level, what using technology and also using personal touch. We need to focus more on reducing negative review and start building our image. From Rafiq, the previous partner is hosting, reservation, and community. And currently actively engaged with partner by visiting them and finding a mutual agreement for any guest partner issue. And then up to revenue manager and community manager. What has been earned, partner in Canggu is reluctant to terminate the partnership between BP and Canggu. Also, next session from Canggu to build other areas. From the D1, previous quarter is focusing on the revenue management, hosting Padang-Padang, and secondary host for Canggu and content. Current quarter is handle revenue manager and community manager. What has been earned, he has promoted to the assistant squad leader and replacing Teddy to lead Padang-Padang in Uluwatu area. For the next vision, become the most trusted point of the contact for Bukit Vista in Uluwatu and Padang-Padang area. From Chandra, previous quarter is focusing on handling air support and reservation. And then current quarter is stepping up to the revenue management and covering this bid for some properties in Uluwatu and Canggu. What has been earned, able to create revenue projection with accuracy within 15% and become delivered in Uluwatu and Padang. For the next vision, Chandra want to handling 30% in the Canggu properties for the revenue management to help me. And then from the Arab, the previous quarter is oil and gas support, something HR chapter, region and in general. But the current quarter is focusing on recruiting to release point from its team member of squad 2 related to position unit. What is has been earned is been recruiting some team member for squad 2 like Eva, Jul, and Rudit. The next vision is to release all the time point delivered on this quarterly meeting that related to HR, especially concentrate on recruiting to be more specific. From Gani, the previous quarter is focusing content and digital marketing for the squad 4, but now stepping up to revenue management for squad 4 and cover content work to the squad 2 with CLA compliance and also create digital marketing asset. What has been earned is some book rate consistently above 90%. And then the next vision is promoted to the senior content. From the Tito, the previous quarter is placing DD as a finance for the squad 2 and squad 3. But the now the current quarter is closely engaged with Berkapa and the Bronx for finance issue, handling overpayment by Airbnb, and in process of creating basic accounting for BP. What has been earned, settlement Berkapa and the Bronx is for finance, request for event and projects. The next vision is finishing basic accounting for BP and offer it for this key. For Joel, the previous quarter is not going yet, but the current quarter is getting to know workflow areas property and partner in Canggu, Uluwatu and Padang areas. And then what is being earned, able to follow existing workflow and understand at least 70%, 35%, 25% of our partner in and properties. Build trust and good relation with few partner and staff. For the next vision is promotion and hosting and community in Canggu with very little supervision. Contribute to more focus including community or revenue management in Canggu area to senior content. And then this is the squad 2 event. In October, we make celebrated for the revenue goal achievement at the Metron Hotel with all candidate and then share fun and grateful in the moment in the team. And then we also discuss for the next plan in the November. And then this is dinner at the Kedawangan as well for celebrating the revenue achievement and then Chandra's birthday. And then we share point and grateful moment. And then the event this month is charity at Bukit Life Foundation. We celebrate the revenue achievement and charity with Bali Life Foundation. We did the donation and give learning them also some things. For the squad vision for the 2020 is becoming the most delightful squad by nurturing trust, team growth, learning, and innovation culture. Okay, that's the quarter report of the squad.
Thank you, Squad 2. Is there anyone who wants to ask a question for Squad 2? No question? Alright. Thank you, Mas Andi. Okay, so maybe we can skip Squad 3 for Jogja to Squad 4 first. So who's going to present? Oh, Gani. Alright, so Gani, that's me.
Okay, good evening, everyone.
Good evening, guys.
Right now, I want to give a brief report for Okay, so we can highlight. First, I want to report the performance summary, then completed objectives, and then pain point, then individual role forward, and then spot for event. Okay, first the spot for performance summary from October until December. Okay, so the revenue growth, basically spot for is decreasing in the previous 3 months. I think that it is the biggest decreasing as now. Okay, but we grow up to 51% compared to last year. And then on the November we reached $38,000, but on the November we decreased minus 37 percent, and then December minus 21%. Okay, so the number of check-in is decreasing as well. In the October we got a 600, and then November we got a 400, and then December only 300. Number of partner growth for the June until December, we only got new partner from June from December. This is Losari Bungalow, but Losari Bungalow, I think it is the first partner that follow new workflow, use bigger and use projection as well. Okay, next to KPI from content. The performance of listing accuracy rate is decreasing from 4.55 to 4.45. But instant rate average is still 90%. On the HAR, the conversion of inquiry and request is unstable yet due to many factors that we cannot predict. Been trying to identify and put that on the observation paper so we can put the gold digging system, but it didn't work well. And then maintain the request conversion right above the 50%. For the review rate, the average rate around 90% and average of review rate around 28%. On the check-in experience rates, we increasing from 4.74 to 4.77. On the review score per month, we are average around 90%. From the SLA, content team is fulfilling the SLA. Instant rate is always above 91%. Did the content doctor to the listing that low performance, and did daily content doctor to reduce the complaining regarding the misinformation in listing. On SAR, we are trying to increase the review rates by using many methods like the farewell message and the send the GIF made by Panda, but the score is unstable. There are another external factors that need to be concerned, like the standard quality of properties. From the MD team, onboarding the clear partner with bigger and use our revenue manager for set up the pricing, like the Losari Bungalow. On the revenue management is doing voluntary by me, Rizal, and Cynthia. At October, we create projection for some properties that achieve 15% accuracy of prediction. Okay, on the completed objective, on the market builder, basically we have bad news and good news. From the bad news first, we felt maintain Papasun and Nusa Majestic. For Papasun, they are choose leaving us and choose the managed by another agent and Nusa Majestic as well. But on the good news, 90% owners login bigger in Penida. I think this is what's it? This is a big effort, big struggle to introduce bigger in something. And then 2 new property for December, 18 rooms, beachfront, Putri Nusa, and 8 room on Losari Bungalow. The Losari Bungalow is the first social login use bigger and we practice. On the
Jangan lewat. Nggak bisa lewat ya.
Konten deh. Oh ya. Okay, next for content. The content last quarter, we run 2 projects. The first is relaunch strategies. Get the best formula to do the action for non-performing listing. Basically, this project is very effective. We can prove it for the email Wayana profile. On the July, we earned $200, but under August we do this belong strategies and we got $2,000. And also the Penida dive and snorkel spot, success increasing revenue by adding Penida dive and snorkel spot on the video. So basically we add on the title and the hero photo that have a near snorkel spot on the Penida. Okay, next. On the HAR, we run two projects as well. The first is thank you card. Get the best practice to leave review and review the guest and send the thank you card. This project is basically not cannot prove it yet, but I think from this project it's giving us a next level of hospitality because we try to make a gift, we try to make a like the animation that from Cynthia, and then we send to guests. So we believe that guests feel touched by the host, even we are not artistic. Next, review concern and improvement concerning in the bad review that made us do the action to solve the problem. Basically, this is still running. Okay, next. Still on the SAR, able to onboard and train new member for OGS to have that operational spot for basically this is still happened by Cynthia to train Novi. Okay. On the revenue management, able to create projection on some properties on the October that achieve 15% accuracy of prediction because the squad for basically no person that really concerned on revenue management. We voluntarily do separately by me, Rizal, and Cynthia. Yes, so let's move on the finance. So the bigger payout report, 18 out of 24 active partners are logged in and using payout report. Regardless, they can use it. Okay, next to pain points from me. I think I still need a guidance to leading squad. And then secondly, limited bandwidth to doing revenue management. And the last is need expert people that consistently cover community management. So content can improve the listing accuracy. Next to Novi, feeling hard to connect both with guest and partner, but not in Trinidad because all we can do is only connect via internet and telephone. Next from Cynthia, need professional and expert people to mentor especially on revenue management. And then there is no standardization perspective about BV on partner side. So there is many partner in Trinidad that still have different expectations from that. And then next to Rizal, need another senior member to give direction on everything up, and then limited bandwidth to doing revenue management. And then next to Risky, finance often found problem on explaining a simple information to owner regarding payment. And then next to Wayana, balancing squad for team and their role, and then finding revenue person and community manager that reside in Trinidad, and the last is looking for a business support for Trinidad. Okay, next from individual development. From Mayana, the previous partner is market builder and community management, and current partner is Grow Nusa Penida and Lembongan, then maintain existing community and revenue management. What has been earned is available to keep update MB new tools and the flow on bigger, available setup company legal, and then available find the new base in Penida and setting up. Thank you very much. The next vision is better understanding and listening the team and help them to build their confidence and skill on the revenue team and also squad lead, and the goal is they will expert on their role. And then focus, take care legal and protect the team and help remove friction in the company. Okay, next to Rizky from on the previous quarter is finance. On the current quarter is bigger payout report, and then assisting other sector of VR. What has been earned is relation improvement on to Penida owner, and then next vision is a community manager that based in Penida, where he or she will be the face of Bukit Vista on Nusa Penida. Okay, next from me. Previous quarter, I doing content and digital marketing. The current quarter is handle the content work with SLA compliance, stepping up to the revenue management, and then create digital marketing asset, and then doing experiment with result that impactful to increasing revenue, and then experiment to learn to leading smartphone with result. Then what has been earned in some debate consistently above 90%. And then next vision from the to senior content, and then create more experiment and innovation. Okay, result. Previous quarter is content and digital marketing. Current quarter is handle the content work with SLA compliance, then stepping up to do revenue management, and then create digital marketing asset. What has been earned is found the best practice to do and done in scope of content creation, and then apply the sit-up workflow best practice. The next vision is promoted to senior content and then grow the Bukit Vista YouTube channel. Okay, from Cynthia. Previous quarter is online support platform. Current quarter is contributing on increasing revenue target through reservation, providing solution to the partner about their problems, training new candidate for OGS or hospitality specialist, stepping up on community and revenue management, making a new project on farewell card and Penida cleaning beach. What has been earned is able to identify and find the best practice on how to answer inquiries throughout the platform quarter. Leading leadership through training new candidates, I could identify and observe people. The next vision is more contributing for the squad and company growth, expecting more growth in Nusa Penida, especially on revenue, upcoming guests, and also community. And then solid, innovative, and delighting team player. Okay, from Novi, previous quarter is online care support support. Current quarter is contributing on increasing revenue target through reservation, screening, and concerning bad reviews so it will happen again in the future, and then discussing and providing solutions to partners so they can improve the facilities and service. What has been earned is able to handle all BV tools, able to identify and find best practice on how to answer inquiries until it's converted, able to handle guest complaints and turn into guest satisfaction, and the last is able to do screening and solving bad reviews that impactful to increasing revenue as well as giving further information to upcoming guests. And then next vision is pass the probation, create more innovation, run the farewell gift or souvenir, stylish to sell apples for guests, collaborate with Squad 1 and 2 to promote Nusa Penida to Bali in-house guests for increasing revenue. Their new tax expanded as well. Okay. Okay, so this is Squad for Event. We actually have been doing the cleaning bits on the 1st December. Okay, so it's attending by Bastian also and his friend. Okay, that's it from us.
Ada question for Squad 4. Kasih banyak dia. Alright, thank you, Danny. Okay, before we go on for Miss Bayu, let's go to Joe Jeffers.
Susah sih.
Thank you, Danny. Udah di kanvanya. Kanvanya Bukit Vista. Ya. Enggak kanvanya aku. Aku mau ini yang sama. Bentar ya, buffer minum-minum dulu deh.
Mana minumnya?
Udah putih.
Ini dah. Ya, atau ini aja. Kirim ke emailmu ya? Apa ya? Okay, so we're going to Jogja now. Okay, so first thing first, I want to say thank you to my friends that you guys give me a time to do this paper. Okay, so first thing first that I would like to tell you is about Jogja area, what happened for the past few months. The first thing is we decreasing 85.6% number of property in Jogja, and then daily hosting being removed from most of the property, and then we do also have MOU and legal law. Sorry, my bad. Okay, so for decreasing 85.6% number of property, the reason was due to lack of number of people in Jogja, and then also removing uncooperative partner, and it's not working really well partner. So I mean by the partner that has no exclusivity on us, and then the partner that not clear about the availability of the place, and then often make an overbooking. And then okay, what does it affect? So based on Jogja area revenue, on the first month after we decreasing number of the property from the September revenue is only like 55% of 55% revenue of the last year. It's also happened because on the August it was high season on Jogja, and the September was like not early high season, it's directly go to the low season. That's why the revenue it's only like 55% of the September last year. But as you can see on the October, with fewer numbers of properties, the revenue itself is already have a growth of 16% on the revenue for October. And then for November, there's also a decreasing on the revenue. And for the December, with almost like 86% of we lost the number of the property, we still managed to have a high revenue, and it's only like it's already 84% of the last year revenue with plenty of property we already have. And so I mean by decreasing the number of property, it doesn't really affect the revenue because as you can see, it's still stable and can work well with the last year revenue. And then daily hosting removed for most of the Jogja property. The reason due to lack of number of person in charge in Jogja area, and we choose to remove the daily hosting for most of the property in Jogja. The effect was not really that bad also because we still managed to get almost 100% positive review on every guest. The number of four and for the that already include a welcome message, and we also have Jogja Bible for deaf ears, so it will be make easier. I mean, like another team member for another from another spot, especially except Jogja spot, still can make I'm gonna do the reservation and do the hosting for Jogja. And then MOU and bigger rollout. honestly saying, this project is still ongoing because the partner, I mean, like we're still dealing for. I mean, before we have no exclusivity from them, and now we're asking for the exclusivity. And the point of the MOU is still being discussed with the partner also, so it can meet our expectation first, and then it's also can meet their expectation for the MOU. So far, we already have 5 partners have a written MOU and 3 ongoing, Omang Derjan, Dalam Pinara, and also Rumpang Kiki. And also for the partner with or which already have an MOU before this project being rolled out, it's the House of the Bella. And then for the bigger project, all the partner already informed that we will no longer send them reservation confirm like message from the WhatsApp, but they need to check from the bigger, so it's kind of forcing them to use bigger no matter what. Okay, then so I think for the Jogja paper, that's all. And for the pinpoint for Jogja, I'm sorry I didn't write down the paper, but the pinpoint was I have no clarity on which one still need to take care of Jogja, since all the person that in Jogja is all the trainee and also the part-time maybe that is also volunteering doing Jogja while she also doing air super for Scotland. And then for me myself, I actually also already included this Scotland, and I'm doing actually it's kind of volunteering too to still manage to do Jogja for the revenue, for the community, and for the reservation, and also the online hosting remotely from them. Okay, then and for the for the future, I hope we still manage to stabilize Jogja revenue. Hope it can get higher, or probably can get a lead since we get more than one list that coming to us asking to join BP instead of us looking for partners for Jogja. Okay then, so I think that's pretty much it from Jogja. Is there any question? Are there any questions for Dominic for squad 3? Dominic and yourself. Hosting Randy Pangalula. Alright, thank you, Dominic. Alright, so now we're going for the last presentation from our one and only CTO. Great.
It's easy to read.
Yes.
Okay, so thank you. I will make it quick since it's pretty simple. So what I will do is basically I will just share my insight from the previous quarter, and then what we do in this quarter, and then what is the result, and then what we are going to do in the next quarter. So the situation in the previous quarter is that the SLA awareness and data visibility, that's we are starting to be aware of each chapter's own awareness basically on the SLA. And there are some blind spots for doing self-monitoring. So not everyone can monitor their own performance. So that's what's happening. And then also there's also chapter detachment. So each chapter are detached and focus only on their SLA and monitoring their KPIs, but not seeing overall flow. Like there's really good chapter doing one chapter doing really good, and the other chapter is becoming a bottleneck. So that's one of the condition that in the previous quarter. So what we are working on this quarter is the mainly this inter-chapter alignment. So we're trying to reconnect the flow between market building and content through automation and quality check. So the example is status change on market building workflow will trigger a request to content without the need of in-person request, and then also reducing the need to follow up on unfulfilled SLA or workflow by creating interconnected workflow between chapters. So this is the one that you see on bigger, the onboarding steps. Basically, the market building cannot request anything if the partner requirement is not fulfilled. So that will reduce the time when there's a request sent, and then the next chapter will ask the previous chapter to follow up for doing one thing. This one has been rolled out during this quarter. So basically, that's one, and then also there's a better visibility on hospitality performance, also guest SLA on guest journey monitoring. And then we are also doing some tools improvement. So the partner survey and announcement is now inside Bigger. So maybe this is a little bit underutilized, the announcement inside Bigger. So basically, we can broadcast a message to all of our partners or all of our employees that use Bigger, so that they will see the announcement every time they open it. So currently it's limited use, so just please request if you want to use that feature. And then we add translation, also performance improvement in speed on opening the platform. Then there's a partner onboarding feature, and then guest journey feature, and then service provider role feature, which is new and has been tested. And then the next one is on human resource. So we are offering freelance work for software developer candidate before they are actually doing the on-site work, and also arranging the program for university interns, which will be started next month in January. And then also we are doing experiments. We are trying out NLP and also machine learning to analyze guest question and reviews. Also, that's what has been we are doing in the tools and technology. So this is what has been achieved and not achieved. So visibility has been achieved by showing metrics and KPIs using Tableau for self-monitoring for each chapter's performance. So every chapter now can see their own performance and can check their own result of work. Basically, there are some chapters that is incomplete, but most of it actually have shown what is written on the SLA. Some of the examples are how hosts are delivering equal service to every guest. So this is related to AGR SLA to the guest, that every guest should be met or should be checked 1 day after check-in. We now can see that. Then what unsatisfied guests are saying about Bukit Vista services. So that's we can also see that on the community management tab on Tableau. And also there's a score for work and experience that would help HR to improve the employee experience in the company. Actions not quite achieved. We know the problem now. We can see the problem, and currently what we are doing is we can fix today's problem, but not fixed enough to prevent similar issues to happen in the future. So in this part, yeah, I think IT cannot help much using technology. So we will need more human approach in making this culture happen. So the next item is adoption. This is somewhat achieved by looking at the number of partners using Bigger. Not 100%. We are still not 100% utilizing to what it's meant for. Like, for example, the payment report, it's not 100% used, and still have some feature that's missing from the partner side. And also there's some difficulties in educating the partners on how to read these reports. Okay, so this is the vision for the next quarter. Basically, what we want to focus on is the first one, hospitality. We focus on further development of Bigger, and we would enhance how we deliver hospitality both to guests and partners. And so no longer adding feature just to have the feature, but actually just improving the features just to help deliver or improve the hospitality. And then the data exploration, we want to implement leading edge technology to explore new possibilities and use of our internal data. This is will be working with the interns and also some of the project from UGM. Integration also will be one of the priority. So basically, this is my idea. So in order to be recognized as the most innovative hospitality company, I think we need to show our innovation to outside world. So outside world means that it's not only us, not only employee, partner, or guest, but also someone who don't have anything to do with Bukit Vista or our business. So this would be uh, like that transportation provider. There's a lot of people actually doing that, want to become the next project or the alternative project, but they're really small and actually they're sort of like in our company, like in a small startup company that try to find alternative way of doing things, like Melali, Bananas, and Bali Bike. They're all like Airbnb for motorbikes. Basically, we can find more companies like this, and we can integrate with them and support each other. Basically, we can get a cross marketing, right? So we can integrate their system into our system. Our guests can discover their service, and their customer also can discover our services. So this is how we can be. I think we also can build a brand image from there. So that is the vision and the priorities for the next quarter. That's for me.
Any question? Actually, I didn't know that you can broadcasting from the video. Is that already being
Yeah, it's already like with the employee survey with same feature.
anyone have you been used the feature, guys? What?
We have that pop-up screen that appears up bigger when you log in. I said, please take a survey. That is the broadcast, right?
Yeah, but like broadcast to talk to the owner that you say.
Yeah, we can, but we haven't used to work into it. Maybe just did you see the pop-up saying to fill up your Christmas wish list?
Yeah, that one see.
Yeah, okay, so that is the work of that feature.
Oh, that's for internally at the moment.
No, we can do it for others.
Okay, we need to learn more about that. Okay.
Okay.
So that one I didn't know where. And then also, yeah, that's it. Wow. Any other question?
Maybe kalau so it is the transformation provider. It is about like you like hope some like in the next next step you want to like create a partnership or something. But it's
So
funny,
yeah, I think we can look for a possibility for that. We don't know whether it's their priority as well or not, but we want to try that. So basically, in terms of technology, we will open this technology, open the opportunity for this technology. In technical language, it's called open API. So basically, we have open API. So if someone wants to connect to our system, they can connect.
I think for the bigger that's not really utilized for owner to use, especially that I noticed most of the big tech is mostly like when you download CSV, like there's like basically not consistent. Like the report, if you see like one owner to the one owner, like because like the way I see it is because when I stand from the back of the the finance, like whose finance is that, and then why is it like the percentage is different? Like it's a lot of things that could be edited manually by the finance, but it's the bigger report itself. I don't think consider it's reliable yet to the point that owner comfortable.
Yeah, actually, why it's not reliable? Because actually Airbnb is not reliable. So we are relying on Airbnb from the email. So if Airbnb is, especially there's a lot of anomalies. Like it's not straight like this is the reservation, this is the payment like that. So sometimes there's a resolution, there's a lot of different things, yeah, adjustment and sending the wrong value, things like that. Basically, the system does what it does, but it's not. There's no feature to detect that yet. We still don't know. Even with human, we still don't know how to detect that yet. So I don't think that. But yeah, we are trying to improve this, and also I think this is also the CSV is actually not the main function. So we don't want owner to download the CSV. We want owner to see on the dashboard. But just like Airbnb, it's only risky that actually download the Airbnb CSV. Other hosts will not realize that there's a button to download CSV. The CSV is actually a data view. It's not meant to be seen, but it's meant to be imported to another software like Tableau to be processed again. So unless the owner wants to use Tableau or Excel and create graph themselves, then they should just see on themselves.
Okay, I understand for our perspective of view, but I think for the owner, if most of the owner want to see like the overall details, ask because like even though they bring themselves question, they want to download it, but just because like a lot of owners is like in guest house, they hard to see like on it. So that's why I think most of them want like download CSV. So it's like I just thinking like what ask the owner perspective. If you have maybe
Any other question?
okay, thank you, Ms. Bayu. Does anyone wants to say something about anything about today or preparation of this quarter? Yes, sir.
Okay. I just want to do a quick survey real quick. Thank you, Vita, for actually putting this together. I was really impressed by everyone's public speaking skills. That's something that I didn't know had actually quietly evolved after a time. I think at the beginning of the year, people will be very nervous to speak in front of, I guess we all know each other here, to be nervous speaking. But I didn't see any of that actually today, so I thought that was actually really impressive. And that's, for me, thinking about like leadership capability, public speaking is one primary capability. So I was really happy to see everybody speak confidently, clearly, and get their message across. The second thing that I thought was really cool is that people are not just sharing their successes, but they're sharing things that did not go well. And funny enough, on promotion reviews, we don't see that as often, but on this, I think it's really good because it's about transparency. If we ignore or we hide or whatever, then we're not going to get good at it. But you feel safe, and as we all should, to share these failure points or things that didn't go according to plan with the team. I think that really helps everybody else identify where they can also contribute to help that. So being transparent, helping others first, really interlocks really well when we have that kind of trust. So this has been great. And my only question is this: I had a discussion with Vita this morning about how frequently we should have this. Now I know that having events and HR saying, hey, we should do this, hey, we should do that, that also takes energy from everybody from their normal day-to-day work. And today is probably one of the busiest check-in days, and yet this was still done. Should we have this by semester or by quarter? Does anybody want to speak on that? I'm opening up the discussion for whether we do this twice a year or we do this 4 times a year. Quarter. Okay, I was quarter.
We announced that we do it at the early of the fourth months, not at the end of the third months right now. So basically, right now we are starting October to December, right?
Yeah.
But we'll be sending on the at the end of December. But what I want is actually at the start of January, which means we already compile all the data for the last 3 months.
Okay. Okay, I will speak for the quarter. Okay, anybody else in either support or discussion of this idea?
So I was thinking about like mid-year report.
Mhm.
So actually like the content is still same, but it's more like mid-year.
Okay.
So we do it like all day long.
Mhm.
So there's another activity also.
Okay.
So it's like example in the morning. So we gather together and have a meeting and we do like let's say like brainstorming and else.
Mhm.
And after that you know around like night we have another activity. Most of the day.
Okay.
So it is like all day meeting, but we make it through.
Oh, for once, like twice a year, yeah? Okay, so mid-year review. Okay, anybody else? Yes, like,
I prefer quarterly.
Okay.
I think with some people designing and then new people, I think quicker iteration would be better because it will be easier to create. Right? Try to remember what has been in 3 months rather than remember what's 6 months.
As what happened 6 months ago.
Yeah.
Okay, okay, let me answer that. The quarters are gonna fall in peak seasons, right? Like in June and September and December. So to be really practical about that, how often do you want to actually do that, right? Report during peak seasons. I guess if we could have done it today, which is actually pretty high check-in day, then maybe it's possible. But I know a lot of people work on the HAR. Probably this could kind of slow it down. So okay, any other feedback? Any feedback from Jogja about whether to have this quarterly or semester based? Okay, all right. I think the next one, yes. Go ahead.
For me, I think quarterly because like if something wrong, we can fix it as well. Like and we can learn from like the last quarter.
Okay, all right, great. Can anybody in HRR speak on behalf of themselves? Because maybe Tendi or Shitnia or somebody like Chandra back there? Chandra? Okay. How much of your bandwidth would be involved in, let's say, organizing a quarterly report for this?
For this, I think it's quite high.
Right.
And it's like, you know, with packaging, with a lot of check-ins and this, like, even a bit for us to do.
Okay, got it. Okay, so we need to think about that because all told together, there's 3 squads and like about 6 chapters, right? So that's 9 summaries times 4, so that's 36 summaries a year on how everyone's doing. Perhaps we can interleave them. Like for example, maybe chapters go only every second thing, so there could be a way to balance the frequency. Okay, that's all I really want to say. Actually, we don't have a conclusion. It's just to start a discussion on that one. This stuff has been really good for me too, as well. Now I have a much better idea of how to best set for the overall thing of the company. That part's cool. Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Does anybody else wants to say something or deliver something? No? Okay, maybe to close this from my side, I would like to actually say thank you so much for everyone for putting it up. I mean, I know it's like actually taking a lot of bandwidth to create this paper because it's a new initiative. We didn't have any paper to look back on what we've been doing in the previous quarter. I think since we have this already, maybe like for the next quarter meeting, it's actually going to be we can actually like reflect back and then we can also like prepare daily or maybe weekly or monthly or like okay, so this is what is our achievement this month, this week. So by the day of the quarterly meeting, it's going to be just like like not all at once like dump it like this quarterly meeting. I know as a new initiative, it might be like really everyone is still like figuring it out as well, like what is actually the purpose of having this and like it's actually like I can do like anything else like maybe more important about work. The idea of actually having this was actually just for us to celebrate our achievements, and I can see actually like from let's say from a staff perspective, when we actually compile our presentation, like actually, oh, this is what we have been doing, like these are like the people that we've been hiring, and blah blah blah. So it's not just like we think of like people are keep asking for new human capital, and this this person resigned, this person dismissed. So not just about that, but also like we contribute to that. We can like look back on like what we've been achieving. So that's why like the purpose of having this quarterly meeting is to look back on that and to celebrate that. Like for example, on MD's side, like I want to realize that we've been onboarding 60 properties the whole year, this year, something like that. So thank you so much for actually showing up today and like putting up with the slides and everything and building as well. What else here? But yeah, I was actually like planning since this is business swap, right? So what do you think if we have like for the chapter presentation during the next all hands? We expect to I think for the my slot also delivered as well, and the slot for also delivered okay, I see.
Because SLA and KPIs can be affected on this one. So. Okay, check out.
I think only MD that. And my chair so actually because we can there are some chapters that weren't like combined with the work of scope is like company wide. So maybe we can do like the chapters that actually like DM for example like company wide, right? DM HR finance and we can do the presentation next open.
What do we do for the next all hands? We skip it all hands. This again?
Yeah, the same time. Yeah, so then for DM, I think content as well, no? Then content is also company wide scope, right? Yeah, okay, so DM, content, finance, MD and for suite presentation. The same day, the same time. Yeah, like Monday, 6 p.m. All right then, so close today quarterly meeting with you, the first one. Thank you so much for coming, everyone. So have a
Let's do a quick survey. Does anybody feel that the objective was reached? Is this a good way to celebrate our achievements? Don't all say yes at the same time.
Not a good way to celebrate. It's a good way to get to know the partners.
Okay, so it's a worthwhile practice.
Yeah.
Okay,
I think it's a recognition. So everyone actually working on something and achieving or failing. So that's good, right? Like rather than I don't know if actually our team is working or not because we're not in the same group.
They're not working.
But this way I think we can understand even though we're not working in the same chapter and
Okay, all right. So new cultural practice for everybody. Okay, thank you, Deja, for introducing. Okay.
all right then. So
That's it. Okay, thank you very much.
thank you everyone.
Gani.
Mendem terus. Mendem terus.
kan ada pas mau ini bisa pintar formal harus
Bulan juga nih.
Oke, bisa.
Ngapore wes mandek.